Hello and welcome back to the room that we created. We have taken a week off. Buck.
The room that we created.
Yeah, we have taken a week off.
Due to personal health concerns, but everything is good.
I am okay.
We are back. It's Beanie Day.
It is Beanie Day. Beanie
night here.
And it is also time to crack open. I'm thirsty as fuck.
Keep it away from the mic just a little bit. It didn't matter.
I clipped.
Just fucked it up anyway.
I clipped.
I have a nice little mug. here.
This is
Not the kind
mug.
you're thinking about.
No.
So I'm gonna pour into my mug.
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna bust that down.
Sexual style, of course.
So,
over our little week hiatus. Well,
it
first
says,
display this mug, please.
It says this is some serious gourmet shit with Samuel L. Jackson's face on it.
Jules. From the
Jules
Pope.
from Pulp Fiction. I don't need you to tell me how fucking good my bubbly is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the one who buys it.
Want to go that you buy it's LaCroix.
One quick announcement before we get started. I have a song called Growing Pains coming out on February 3rd. February 3rd, people. And if you want to check it out, it's going to be on all major streaming platforms. You just search Growing Pains by Zach Montana, and this is my shameless plug.
This song is one of my favorite songs I've ever heard. On a completely genuine, real level, not blowing smoke up Zach's ass.
No, well, a little.
We're very honest to each other, people. If you made something that was shit, I would tell you. And
never lost.
And this song is one of my favorite songs I've ever fucking heard.
That's very kind of you. I appreciate that.
This song is... So there are songs like... I want to do the music episode, not today.
I've been thinking about it too because I'm making a list.
Right, same as am I. And one of the albums that popped up on my list was In the Aeroplane Over the Sea by Neutral Milk Hotel. That album is such a deeply personal, gross, and ridiculously honest portrayal of humanity and panic and maturing. And your song Growing Pains gives me the same kind of existential activity in my soul, but it's also so goddamn catchy and so good to listen to.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. That's funny because when I wrote Growing Pains, I was like the most passionate about it. But since then, I've written some things that I haven't even shared with the public at all. That I've kept very close to me, and I really enjoy it much more.
Yeah, that's usually how it goes. Like you pour your heart into a thing. You're like, this is the thing. Oh my god! And then you finish it and you move on to the next thing, and you're like, oh, this is even better. And like that's how you progress.
Well, one would hope. Well, today's topic,
I just wanted to point out that Growing Pains, like that's what speaks to me the most about it, is that it simultaneously is that digging and that uncomfortable and that introspective while still maintaining like ear candy, and it's so fucking catchy. The chorus is like, I scream that shit.
Thank you.
Anyway,
today's topic is the internet. There we go.
I wanted to talk a lot about, plenty about, as much as we need to, about.
If we were inclined to talk a tad bit about it, we would.
The internet and kind of like its effect on our maturing as a generation, Gen Z, and how it's influenced my philosophy, my anxiety, my self-image, how it's shaped me, how it's misshapen me. And one thing is that I think it's interesting that we have to... the internet and the way we communicate through the internet has become such a fucking base part of our lives and affects so much of how we operate as a society that it is something you have to take into account when developing your opinions on things and how the world works. It's almost like a door we have opened, about ourselves. And it's like, how would we behave if all known information was accessible to everyone at any moment? Now with that on the table...
Keep talking. I'm not trying to interrupt. I'm going to move the mic out of your face.
Oh, yeah, you're good. It's something to consider. And what kind of got me thinking about this was because I went to therapy for the first time in very, very many years. Just yesterday. And It was really successful. It was a great therapy session, and after you give the I was just explaining it to Zach off camera a little bit, but you give the exposition of your life to your therapist. When you first meet a therapist for the first time, like your first session with one, you have to fucking backstory. You have to just, this happened, this happened, this happened, this is who I am, this is how I am, this is what I've noticed about, and it's exposition. You're not really doing therapy. But at one point, I knew I had wanted to discuss the session a little bit on the podcast, but a lot of the exposition is deeply personal, and I've either already talked about it on this podcast, or I just don't want to get into it today because it's a lot. It's too much, emotionally. But one thing I blurted out to my therapist while I was kind of expositorily, monologuing about my condition and
what condition your condition was in?
Yeah, why I'm in therapy. He's like, why did you want to begin therapy again? What was the catalyst? And I was like, well, besides the fact that I just had a crisis. And
Charlie, I'm fucked up, Charlie.
yeah. Like, one of the things I was talking about was like how fucking overwhelming life is. I was just like, good or bad, sometimes it's just fucking too much, and I panic. I have panic attacks that just like feel like I'm being crushed under the weight of everything around me.
Yeah, last episode I said that I don't really struggle with the anxiety anymore. I had the worst panic attack of my life the other day, so everything that I said is, well, it still holds true, but it's just like, God, for lack of a better word, was like, go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself.
We all obviously have been in the pit before, And
yeah, moshing.
Yeah, I need to be in the pit. That would help my anxiety a lot.
Yeah.
But anyway, we were just talking about off air too how we both just feel fucking stressed lately, and not like very existentially bothered by anything. It's not like we're like confused or lost. It's just we know where we stand. We are comfortable with our lives. We have good lives and we like our lives. It's just like lately things have been fucking a lot. There's been so much fucking movement in our lives and so much change and busyness that I think both of our bodies are responding with panic every once in a while. Panic that's hard to identify. Like, it's very physical. Like, my panic attacks as of late have felt like asthma attacks. They haven't been like I'm thinking about something. Oh God! Oh wait! Oh, and there's this, and there. It's more just been like, fuck.
Mine just came on. I was like, why are my eyes getting blurry? Why am I getting blurry? Why am I gonna throw up?
Yeah, And I think I think we're just reeling back from some bad fucking years, and this is kind of the first time in a long time that things are relatively looking up, and so now our body's just like. We're responding to stress. We've been a tense rubber band,
Well, I
for
feel
2
like
years straight.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some part of that. I feel like my last week has just been.
Well, you had a fucked week. That's on top of everything. Like that's
I've been feeling good. I had
lately.
a really powerful experience that set me on my good way. I think just like. When you release a track, I've been like DMing playlisters and tracking people down and like
right.
It's like it's very consuming.
Yeah, it's a lot of movement,
and it's also you're putting all this time into something and being consumed by it and simultaneously trying to not care.
Yeah.
So that you like can move on to the next thing and let the art because you make the art, you market it, and that's all you can do. Yeah. It's out of your hands, and so there's none. If you put your all into something, there's nothing to be self-conscious about.
Mm-hmm. That's like as I was going on the rant about everything, I said to my therapist like, oh, and then the fucking internet, like my phone, like Jesus, I just hate, I can't everything. It's like your personal life is good and everything is good and fine, but you're just sensitive and you're reeling back from a lot of trauma as of late, and your life is good and like you're safe for the first time in a very long time. And now all of your muscles are just untensing.
And TikTok is a reminder that you are in the dystopian era.
Exactly.
Because when I can...
As good as you can get, the world is still on fire.
The first thing that, we were talking about it, like, when I would see literal Russian soldier TikToks of fucking tanks blowing shit up, and then it'd be a fucking Peter Griffin, like, happy. And then earlier I was telling Maddie there was this fucking voicemail of Andrew fucking Tate, you know, admitting to like raping a girl and liking it, and I'm showing this to her. And I can't find the original fucking clip, so I find a YouTube short of it.
Oh my
God. It's like some lo-fi beat, and it's like...
It's like a commentator, like a fucking, what do you call it? A reactor.
Like, what do we think of this? And then they play the clip, and, you know, they're talking over some lo-fi music, which is fine. You know, it's pretty normal, pretty standard
little
fucking
bizarre
format.
for such a serious
but
topic.
Then they fucking start playing the audio, and they don't bring down the volume of the lo-fi, so it's just Andrew Tate like, is it fucked up? Is it fucked up that the more the more you didn't like it, the more I was turned on it? Fucking turn me on. And it's like in the background,
lo-fi beats playing over it. It's so fucked.
And I'm like, what is this? Like,
that's dystopia.
Yeah,
it's just like.
And I'm so used to it.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. Is like
starts with hair cake.
Oh my god, fucking
it starts with that.
Things appear so bad all the time that the only way to digest it at a certain critical mass point of horror, the only way to ingest it without losing your actual mind is as entertainment. You know, and
I can't. I'm always Ali. It's difficult to just think because for me it's
you're a fucking
for me it's simultaneously a business and a fucking source of information. And when my life and my passion revolves around music, and a lot of music is fucking this marketing bullshit, it's like you have to pay attention. Like it isn't fucking important.
Yeah,
and then I'm just like it's not.
Yeah,
it is not. I don't put any. I try not to, but the body response after years of fucking programming is to fucking take the internet as your source of news.
Yeah,
and any fucking like MSNBC clips or fucking shit like that, like you get from the fucking internet.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I doubt anyone watching this has cable.
Yeah,
the only news I've ever watched is when I've walked in on my fucking parents watching it,
right?
Like on the TV.
Yeah, and that shit's no better.
Yeah,
like it's just the thing is, you know, it's really hard to with the internet is such a fucking useful thing. It's the internet is a mirror. Whatever the fuck you put into it, you're gonna get out of it. And if you have like somehow figured out a way to incorporate it into your life in a healthy way, it could be really fucking powerful. There's communities for marginalized people on the internet, you know, that save lives. You know, there's
communities that destroy lives.
And there's also that, but there's also fucking valuable art and entertainment that wouldn't exist without the, you know, internet age that has you know, is good for humanity.
I think something that I would really, really like to talk about that I've been talking about for a while is the desensitization. The desensitization. Is that the right word?
Sounds like the right word, yeah.
Desensitization. I can't say it quite right. Desensitization. There we go. Of just our generation. Because we grew up in a time when the internet was like not necessarily new, but the fucking explosion happened when we were alive. So right around, you know, we're like, you know, 6-7 years old. I think we were around both 7, and YouTube came out. Yeah. YouTube runs the fucking like is one of the like 5 major things in the world for that shit, and we were alive when it came out, and it was just some dude's idea. Like, why don't like here's a place to put videos, put them on there you go. And that fucking just rode that wave. And being in your childhood and your adolescence and going from like 7 years old to 12 years old to a teenager to an adult, while the fucking something like YouTube was simultaneously growing, it was expanding at an exponential rate, and there was no fucking restraint on it. You know, now it's established. It's set up, it's here. There's like YouTube Kids. There's fucking shit that like you cannot put on there, the shit you cannot fucking watch. But when we were, you know, growing up, like if it got uploaded, like you fucking saw it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
you would see
I remember
fucked
when
up
Rhett
shit.
and Link began.
Like, you saw fucked up shit, and there was because it was so fucking new. Now that we'd seen it, it was like, well, how do we make sure that doesn't happen again?
Right.
Was the question. It was just, it fucking spawned in, and we got exposed to a bunch of shit while it was in its adolescence, and now it's like we're pretty desensitized. Like, it's shit like Meat Spin and fucking Lemon Party and fucking Two Girls One Cup. It's like, those are things that are funny and cultural staples, but then they shouldn't have been to fucking 11-year-olds.
Oh yeah, no, I remember even being a sheltered Jehovah's Witness kid. That's the one little area at school with kids with phones, or even kids that knew how to jailbreak the fucking firewalls in the school max.
No one knew how to control it yet.
Yeah, everyone had access to it, and it was something that you could experience alone, and no one could find out. Like there were ways for 10-year-olds to see things, and no one ever know that they saw it.
There was no way to regulate it because it was too new.
Mm-hmm.
And that was, I think, what played a part in our desensitization.
But now what's so interesting is that, like, having it go fucking from the thing that throws a wrench in the machine to, like, oh, God, to then eventually, over the years...
It's the machine.
It's the machine. Like, the capitalism, whatever, the colonizer mindset, whatever you want to call it, the fucking machine
the fucking Susan, CEO of YouTube.
Yeah, eventually just goes, okay, all right, this is how we do it now. And it starts to slowly mold into the background. And it's like, that's why, like, the desensitization, however the fuck you say it.
I think we've both said it a few times. Desensitization.
Desensitization of kids, horrifying, that's bad. And how much it traumatized people, online bullying, there's that. But also there was this, like, unbridled creative freedom handed to everyone all at once, And that's the situation that for a few years he said if it was uploaded, everyone fucking saw it. And so you had a voice now, suddenly. And in some ways, that's incredibly positive, or at least has the potential to be.
Yeah, I mean, the first, like, if you did, like, a YouTube cover, like a cover song and uploaded it to YouTube, it was like... You were one of the pioneers. It was like, oh my God, somebody's using this platform to share music.
Right.
Like, that's new.
And I feel like that
now
lasted,
that's all it fucking is.
That lasted longer than, I would say that lasted like pretty long, a while YouTube was like that, maybe 2010, 11, And so like, and the thing is, that's what I mean about like being able to incorporate it in a healthy way in your life. But it's so hard when now that, giant corporations and the fucking like people that run the world understand it. It's been around long enough for them to incorporate it. It's hard to take the internet and decide how you want to use it in your life when everything about it is designed to make you use it a certain way.
Well, there's the whole it's an entire thing that runs on like your attention and you watching. And so it's let me restart that. It's an entire, like, the idea behind things like YouTube and TikTok, they are all companies and platforms based solely and primarily on the idea of growth. Mm-hmm. Their numbers of users have to be higher this year than they were last year. When you get to a point where it's a universal thing that everyone uses and you run out of room to grow. And it's a thing that is literally dependent on growth. So what is the next natural step in that evolution? Your time.
Yeah, right. Bo Burnham was talking about this.
Yeah, exactly. Look over here, look over here, look over here. They want every second of your day. If you're watching 8 hours, the only way to grow is if next year you're watching 10.
Right.
And I don't know if you're aware of this, but there is an insane lawsuit going on right now that could change all of that.
No, I did not know that.
Okay, so get this. So I'm gonna. It's not like we're monetized anyways because we're not that big. But I'm gonna refrain from saying certain keywords that might get this video taken down.
Okay.
So, basically, there's a thing in YouTube's. I guess let's just say YouTube's fucking like laws. The copyright shit, the laws, all that shit. If they're not responsible if something gets uploaded and defend someone, because it's a fucking platform to upload.
Right.
You know, they're not fucking responsible for it. It's, you know, it's their platform, but that person put the thing on it and they're providing a service and yada yada. Now, layman's terms, get through the legal bullshit. There are certain things in place like community guidelines to where a certain point where then they have the power to take those things down.
Right. Hate speech, like violence.
Yeah, stuff like that. We know they can set rules within their platform that you can't break. Right. You know, so there's that.
Unless you're Steven Crowder.
Now, these things also work on an algorithm. So they push videos out to people. Now, there was a video that if you say yes, yes in Spanish and then backwards, does that make sense to everybody watching? Matt, just think about it.
Oh, gotcha.
Yes, yes in Spanish, backwards. If, you know, there was a video like of one of those, you know, that went around. And obviously
violent crime.
A violent video, you know, and this video got views. And so the algorithm goes, it gets views. So it pushes it to more people to get views. Right. And so there's a then there's a lawsuit that's like, well, this did offend me and you are responsible because your algorithm pushed it to me.
Right.
And so that lawsuit is going on right now. And the reason it could change everything and not immediately is because I doubt this will happen. But if the worst case scenario happens and the court rules this, it will likely go to the Supreme Court. If it rules in favor of the prosecutor and YouTube is the defendant, and that YouTube is responsible for this.
Right.
The algorithm is responsible for this, and this can't happen, you know? It won't change right away. Nothing will really be different. But what it will mean is that by law, now YouTube is no longer like, we're not responsible for that. If something offends a person, YouTube is responsible and is legally obligated to defend every single lawsuit that comes their way, whether it's frivolous or not. So if somebody just sees a video and is like, I'm offended by that, I'm suing YouTube. YouTube, by law now, has to defend it legally, which, if you can imagine the size of the platform, that is going to take so much time and money and resources that it will be fucking impossible to sustain. So naturally, they're gonna have to do away with the algorithm. And the only way you'll really be able to find content is if you search for it or are already subscribed to it, which for big name creators, they'll likely be fine. But it's gonna make it nearly impossible for new people to get discovered on these platforms without an algorithm like that.
Except potentially through grassroots promotion.
Yes, and that's why it's good and bad, because when you have the algorithm,
well, you know
people
what?
like me who are doing grassroots promotion get frustrated because it's like, God damn it, it's like there's so much volume of shit out there I can't break through. But if like the only way to do it is grassroots, then it then does become how much effort you put into it.
Right,
and less lucky. Right.
The thing is, like, both options are kind of scary because of how by the numbers things have been for so long. But I think that ruling in favor of YouTube is a little scarier than ruling in favor of the prosecutor in that situation. Because ruling in favor of the algorithm just feels like, okay, so like the machine says, oh, this gets money. That's the horrors of AI, right? That's extremely fucking rudimentary AI, you know, but it's still like, there's absolutely no way for this thing to be like, oh, but yes, it does get us more money, but should it? Like, you know, there's no way for it to be like, oh, but this is a horrifying video, though. So in spite of it making us more money, that needs to be
your algorithm needs to detect if the video getting views has this shit in it, which they do have, you know, but it's if they rule in the favor of the prosecutor and somebody sees something before it gets taken down.
But that's the fucking crazy thing about it. I would rather they rule in favor of the prosecutor because I don't want the fucking thing to get any stronger or any more intelligent. Because how do you go from, okay, so now I don't know how this fucking thing would detect that, okay, this thing makes us money, let's push it. But wait, is this an appropriate thing to push? How does it detect violence?
I think it's a little bit above my head on how much we're talking, like how much I know about like what you're saying.
I have no fucking clue how it works. But
from a layman, this is what I see potentially happening. So this is a completely uneducated person's paranoia about AI in regards to the YouTube algorithm.
Oh, that's the podcast.
Okay, here we go. You ready? It sees the fucking can we say like
No.
we can't. Okay, so it sees this violent crime take place that was popular on the internet, you know, from a war. It was a war crime. A video of a war crime is on YouTube. This thing says, oh, people flocked to this, so push it. But wait, it's something that breaks the community guidelines. How does the robot know that it broke the community guidelines? Oh, well, there's violence in it. How does it detect violence? This robot watches the video and sees blood? Or like, how does it know that?
Oh, no.
Right?
Oh, no.
How does it know without a person having to watch it, right?
Now we've taught the robot violence.
We've taught the robot what that looks like. But now... okay, well, there's contextual violence that is okay because YouTube sells films. YouTube also has clips of movies that are able to be there existing without ads, so you're not making money off someone else's movie. But like, so you can't watch a video authentically of a person, you know, like Children of Poseidon, like those guys jumping into cactuses and shit like that. Like that got demonetized or whatever.
Well,
But
now
any
it's
a
even
little
worse.
further,
If you play a violent game, you're getting demonetized.
yeah, right. But taken down.
This new stuff.
Taken down, right? Something a little more extreme than Children of Poseidon jumping into cactuses, and it's real, you'll get taken down. But you can post the clips of Terrifier 2 are all over YouTube, and they're not being taken down. They're not making money, as far as I know, but they're not being taken down. It's the most grotesque, violent thing ever. But it's fake. It's a movie. How does the robot know what's real and what isn't? And also what's contextually bad.
I think that's where the individual hand comes in and says, which, like, you know, that's... You
but
know.
is our neuromapping and shit like that and like being able to apply that knowledge to AI, is it getting intense enough to where the robot can watch it and be like, that's good violence, that's okay, that's fiction, and that's real. You know, that doesn't belong here.
And then it has an idea that some violence is good and some is bad. And it doesn't have like a conscience.
No.
Which is a scary
or maybe,
thought.
but either way, just even if it's not necessarily terribly horrible that you can teach a robot the difference between fictional violence and authentic violence, I just don't like the idea that that's possible. Like, even if there's no tangible bad effects, it's like a robot shouldn't know. You know? And like, why? And then, because then we're letting it decide what we should see. You know? We're giving it all of our media and saying, show us what you think we need to be seeing. All the time.
Instead of making that choice for ourselves.
Exactly.
That's actually, that's a really fucking base take.
It's so fucking scary.
It's fucking based at the barnyard, brother.
I'm not, thank you. But I'm not fucking like, you know, a super conspiracy theorist when it comes to the internet or like hate, you know, like I don't think there's a better, despite how, in spite of how horrible and hard to manage this life is, I don't think there's a better generation we could have been born in, right?
No.
I mean, it appears as the further you go back, the more shitty things are.
I watched the most amazing video on like triple post level irony, and like this girl, I'm so sorry, I forget her name. She's amazing. She's like one of the only people we're subscribed to on this channel, which is my doing.
Oh, that's awesome. I'll check her out then.
Yeah, she's so cool. She has a great video on it, but fuck. Oh my god, we need to take an intermission here. Something fucked happened.
What?
Something really fucked happened the other night. The fucking vending machine stopped fucking working. And I don't know if we've said this on this podcast before. We might have said it's not worked yet. But I will pepper that in as well to set up the fucking other thing that happened that was fucked with this vending machine. If you don't know about this vending machine yet, we have a cursed vending machine that is all sorts of fucked. It has two things that aren't on there, and over the two things that aren't on there, there are new options written in, and those new options are fucking switched.
Please, for the love of good Christ, watch the Christmas special.
Please watch the Christmas special.
We go all into the vending machine.
But
just continue from there, assuming they've seen the Christmas special.
Yeah, and you press Wild Cherry Pepsi, you get a fucking mug. We had just finished the fucking episode with Kevin,
Right, the creative writing.
The creative writing episode with Kevin, and we were like, let's go get mugs.
Yeah.
And we go to the
Kevin
vending
is a
machine.
fan. Kevin watches every episode.
Kevin.
And so he had
you.
heard about the vending machine, and he knows about the situation, how funny it is, and the Breyers Mandela effect, and the whole. And so he's like, "Oh yeah, let's go get a mug from the fucked vending machine, pressing cherry Pepsi. We're gonna get a mug."
And we go down there, and I pull out I have a Sony HCR HC52, I think it is, or 32 camera that I record video on, like the tape. And I pull it out, and Kevin's got his phone out, and we're like, ha ha ha, here we go. And this is the first time we've ever filmed this thing.
Right.
We pressed Wild Cherry Pepsi, and we reached down, and it is Wild Cherry Pepsi. It has given us the thing.
Yeah, which is, it was earth shattering.
And we were like, fuck. And so we pressed mug, and we got a mug. And it was fine. We were getting mugs for a day. We came back.
Well, it wasn't fine.
Well, it wasn't
we
fine.
were like end of an hour. We were freaking out.
We
The
were
funniest
freaking
thing
out.
is outside of the context of the meme and the inside joke in this vending machine, like
This
not knowing
woman.
that, there's just a video of Kevin being like, "Oh, you ready?" And it's me pressing Wild Cherry Pepsi, receiving a Wild Cherry Pepsi, and going, "No, no!"
And then we freak
Like
out, and this woman comes downstairs, and she's like, Can you guys keep it down? And for a second, I wanted to just explain to her what was going on. Just
because
all
we
of
forgot
it.
to mention the vending machine is in the lobby of a hotel, an outdoor like motel situation.
Anyway,
but
we come back to
there's people sleeping.
We do this for like 2 days. We get our mugs. We press mug. It's a little bit disappointing, but we still get to drink our fucking mug at night,
Right.
which I am now addicted to. I fucking can't stand Barks.
No,
And-
it sucks. It's too peppery. It tastes like those shitty root beer candies. Like you melted a bunch of them.
Anyways, we go one day, and it's fucking sold out. It's fucking sold out a mug. The only and not only is it sold out a mug, it's fucking it's just sold out a mug. We'll just say that for now. It's sold out a mug.
I forgot about this. This is so fucking funny.
We go back 3 nights later, and we're like, fucking still sold out. We almost didn't go because we were like, we know it's sold out, and we were like, well, I kind of want to see if it's there. We go, sold out. We've tried every single thing on this fucking vending machine. The only thing that's also kind of funny is that Dasani gives you Aquafina.
Right.
That's it. You can get Dasani from Aquafina. The mugs are sold out. There's fucking Mountain Dew. There's Pepsi. There's Coke, which is Wild Cherry Pepsi, which you can get. So the only 3 things, like
There's only one thing we have not pressed.
there's only one thing that we have not pressed, and it's Diet Coke. And so we go, fuck it. Let's press Diet Coke. And I'm thinking, wouldn't it be fucking funny if I pressed Diet Coke and I got like some other soda, like a 7-Up?
Yeah.
I'm
or
like, what
a
if we
Diet
got like a
Pepsi
new thing
instead.
going on? Like a Diet Pepsi. We press the Diet Coke, and I reach my hand down, and, the disappointment hits me. I go, fucking, that's a romanticization. I know that's not going to happen. I know this is a Diet Coke, and I pick it up, and it is a mug root beer. And I looked at, and before, let me back it up.
Mug moment.
When me and Kevin and Maddie showed up to the machine, and we went to go press it, there was a mug
Already at the bottom
at
of
the
it.
bottom that had been dispensed.
Before it went
There
to
was
the
a mug,
sold out.
and that was the funny thing. We were like, Kevin, we told you it's fucked. See, we showed up, and there's already a mug for us. Isn't that funny? Because haha, the whole thing with the mugs. Look, see, it's fucked. Look, and then we get the mug, and that was the last one ever.
That
Like
was
it
the
was
last one
giving
we
us a
ever
gift.
got.
Like it was a gift from Christ.
Oh my god!
Jack Kramer.
Yeah, the last mug
But
we
we
ever
come
got
back,
from the
we
machine
press
was
Diet
free.
Coke, and I'm expecting the Diet Coke or like some fucking other soda. And
Like
I
it
just,
needs to be said.
and
I pressed the Diet Coke and I was expecting a Diet Coke.
and it happens all over again. It happens all over again a second time.
Yeah,
I get
Diet Coke is the mug.
get a mug. And so I run back to my car and get my camera. And I'm getting this fucking thing on tape. And we go back and we press Diet Coke. We put $1 in, we press Diet Coke. Sold out.
It's every time you turn on the camera, it's like
It's like
quantum.
Bigfoot. It's
quantum.
Bigfoot.
It's fucking it's a cryptid. The vending machine is an SCP. Like it's that thing is.
We should cue that on the SCP
We
forum.
should.
But now the only things you can get are Mountain Dew, Pepsi, and Wild Cherry Pepsi. And so we are just draining this thing of fucking Pepsi. and until hopefully it has nothing left, and then who knows how they're gonna fucking stock them.
Yeah, we gotta go up there with fucking,
I saw the Pepsi truck
$50 and clean the whole thing out.
I saw the Pepsi truck the other day outside of the fucking place.
Oh,
And so I think we need to go back tonight.
oh my god. Okay, sounds good. Oh man,
I'm
SC.
sorry to break that up, but I just like the internet thing. But it was the most fucked. I fell to my knees. It was the funniest thing I've
wheezing.
ever experienced. And fuck, my mom is in on the lore. She thinks that it's us in an alternate universe. Like putting the fucking things in there, like it has to happen, like Back to the Future, like has to sleep with your, like my dad has to sleep with my mom. Another theory is that there's another vending machine in another multiverse in the exact same spot where like it is that thing, and it's
Right.
coming from that. Like when I press Diet Coke, like that, like in the top right corner of the machine is Diet Coke. In another multiverse, in the top right corner is mug, and I'm getting
Right.
the mug from that machine, and they're getting the Diet Coke from ours. And that's another theory. Like it's all switched, and there's alternate versions of us that have this meme where they went to press mug and they got Diet Coke.
Oh my god.
Where the whole thing was they've been obsessed with Diet Coke
That's so fucking good.
and Mountain Dew. They press Mountain Dew and get a Diet Coke.
Yeah, I wonder how things are going in that universe. Oh my god, you want to talk about alternate universes? I just found out about this World War II fact that I hadn't previously heard about, and I know a decent amount about World War II. There was going to be a meeting set up when Stalin like joined our side, when Stalin was like fighting against the Nazis, you know, where FDR, Churchill, and Stalin were all going to be in the same fucking place. They were all going to meet there, and somehow via double agent, the Nazis knew about it and planned to bomb it. And we're going to kill all three of them at once. And it was so thought out, and they were going to do it. And the only reason they weren't able to execute their plan is because FDR backed out of the meeting. The meeting fell apart. Because FDR was, had a lot of health problems. Like FDR was sick.
That's like Seth MacFarlane waking up late for his flight that crashed into the Twin Towers.
Right. Oh, it's that on a fucking world stage level. It's fucked, and it's literally
they're
like
on
the
the same
inverse
level.
a plot of
They're on the
Inglourious
same
Bastards.
level.
They're on the same. Yeah. We wouldn't have Family Guy. No, but yeah, it's the plot of Inglourious Bastards, but bad guys side. They were going to bomb this place where the three figureheads of their opposition were going to be together, and it so almost happened. And if it did, they may have won the war.
Well, they had fucking Einstein working for them. They had fucking like alien technology. A lot of people hypothesize, that they fucking. There's this movie. There's this movie, real quick, called Sky Sharks. It's the most unbelievable fucking thing, and we've talked about it
On the Film Bros episode.
the other day. We were playing this game. We call it the fucking random items game, where I can't explain it, but we just get a bunch of random items. It's an improv game where we try to one up each other with the improvs with the items. Lincoln, our friend, pulls out a copy of a DVD, and we looked at it and we laughed and we went, "Oh, that was a funny bit that he did." And then it both clicked in our heads for a second what it was. We went, "Wait, what?" And we looked at the DVD, and it was a DVD for land sharks.
Yeah.
And Lincoln was like, "What? What's so funny?" And we're just like, "You don't know what."
He had no idea that
we
Sky
didn't know
Sharks
there was a yin
thing
to
for
the
us.
yang.
Yeah.
We just thought it was chaos.
So we've discovered the other side of the coin, and we need to adjust it.
Okay, let's get back to the internet.
Yeah, back to fucking.
This is the internet. Our ADHD is the internet.
We've been programmed like this. No, but ways I have found.
Watching 11-time Grammy Award winner John Legend sing about Joe Byron and Bing Bong, that was it for me.
Yeah.
Like, Joe Byron, Bing Bong.
The most
terrible.
I
hated
think
it.
watching
He was great, but-
watching the guy who ate cake infused with the human anatomy and vomit.
Yeah, the Grammy-winning chef.
Yeah, watch. No, watching Filthy Frank become Joji was almost disturbing. Was that? Did you get any of that?
That was the most inspiring thing I've ever seen, because I was like, I'm also on that path, hopefully.
Like working with. No, yeah, no, it was. I'm glad.
Well, what was disturbing was that
it was
when the
just so
K-pop community
surreal.
found the hair cake videos and tried to cancel him.
Right, and I'm like,
I was like, you didn't know?
That blew my mind that people didn't know. But at the same time, yeah, of course they didn't know, because it also blew my mind when I saw Filthy fucking Frank on the Tonight Show doing Run. I was like, oh my God. Like, you know?
You think about, yeah, fuck, I was in 8th grade watching some fucking, YouTuber who was clearly
so
just
goddamn
making
niche.
videos in his fucking house.
And
And then
the
they
thing
were
about it is-
disturbing and disgusting and as gross as I was in 8th grade.
Yeah.
And fucking hilarious and offensive and as fucked up as you could get on YouTube at the time, for lack of a better word, without being actually over the line.
Yeah.
He was over the line, but you know what I mean? Like
Not
actual,
in a dangerous way.
yeah, like CC backwards, the fucking.
Right.
It was, and then all of a sudden, 6-7 years later, or whatever it is, and there he is on fucking national television, and Jimmy Fallon probably has no idea.
Oh, Jimmy Fallon has no goddamn idea. The thing about it that was so fucking bizarre was that, like, I'm not gonna fucking kid myself. I loved that shit. I fucking loved.
Oh,
Filthy Frank. It
yeah.
was so fucking funny. And
It's still funny.
yeah, like the thing about it that's I think there's a reason I don't enjoy that content anymore.
Right.
And I think it's a good thing,
Yeah, I get you.
But at the same time, it spoke so much to navigating wanting to be different, wanting to be extreme, wanting to be radically self-expressive, That's so hard to navigate in your youth. And, I'm giving Frank more credit than he's probably worth, because he wasn't in his youth when he made it. We all were.
I don't think. Well, he was only probably 19, and you think about the way 19-year-olds are now and how they were when we were fucking
That's a good
13.
point, yeah.
It's different. But people don't realize that fucking George, Filthy Frank, Joji, whatever you want to call him, he fucking runs the internet. People don't know this. The same way people don't know Joji is hair cake is the same way people don't know that he fucking invented the Harlem Shake.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah. No, and memes, it's all over. Like, people who
Fucking,
like, on
I swear
surface
to
level
God,
internet
he
share
started
Filthy Frank
memes. I
don't know
swear
who
to
it is.
Christ.
No, that's a good point, because every single upload, I remember when I was in 8th grade,
Became a meme. I'm gay. I have osteoporosis. I have crippling depression. All that shit.
Yeah, every single fucking upload became something quotable and was talked about. And then, the thing about it is, what was so funny is, those videos were not okay. You can't say those things, and we've progressed as a society, and that's a good thing. It is a good thing. The thing, however, though, that I find fascinating is that when I was watching it, it was edgy and horrible from a conservative perspective. That was me rebelling against conservatives because of how offensive and horrible it was from that perspective. Now, that stuff is offensive and horrible from a liberal progressive perspective, because it's disparaging and it says things you can't say. You know what I mean?
And it kind of it kind of became that itself. That's kind of its story. I don't know how to say that.
I think
that's how we got there. That's how we got here, is by fucking being offensive.
Right. To exactly, that's how we came to a place of actual human empathy, because we were so pissed off with the you can't say this, you can't say that of our conservative, upbringing and old people, that we started saying everything. And it was weird, because in Filthy Frank, early shit, it was radical. It's every once in a while he would say something radically progressive, but then also
and then
mixed up with all the
would say-
offensive jokes.
It's something I think some of the iDubbbz stuff, you look at iDubbbz and he went from saying N-word F slur
Yeah.
to fucking like fucking Chad Sigma OnlyFans girlfriend like guy, you know.
Yeah, and like
indie guy with a mustache, you know.
Yeah, he's on the Hasanabi podcast, a literal fucking socialist streamer. You know,
yeah,
like uncle
exactly.
for the Young
and it's
Turks.
just like what? It's
and
like,
and
what the fuck?
it's
It's like,
bizarre,
where's the pass?
but it kind of makes sense.
It's like, why do we culturally like? You think about it, it's like, what's the pass? And it's because that was like the forefront, maybe.
I think
We let it go. We really do.
we let it go, and that's the situation. I think it's not so much a past as much as it is that cancel culture is overblown. Cancel culture,
Yeah, exactly.
you know, isn't a thing to really be afraid of, because the people.
It's not a culture.
No, it's not a thing that because okay, any part of quote unquote cancel culture that
an
conservatives bitch about, saying, "Oh, well, this guy got canceled over this fucking tweet 8 years ago." Well, this guy, okay, all of those people, they do still have careers. What are we talking about? James Gunn, you know, that whole thing with the Twitter thing. iDubbbz, Filthy Frank, they're all doing fine. So yeah, when people get canceled, quote unquote, over stupid shit, it doesn't stick. So it's not a fucking problem. Cancel culture is not a problem.
It sticks when it needs to.
It sticks when somebody fucking abuses somebody.
Harvey
Harvey
Weinstein.
Yeah, that's not fucking cancel culture or a witch hunt. That's just crimes. You know? That's just someone saying a crime was done. You know? So,
Yeah.
you know, yeah, these people like Filthy Frank, how are they able to get away with it? It's like, well, they didn't. It's just the punishment fit the crime. They didn't fucking, you know, they for the most part changed their behavior, you know, and
But like Sam Hyde.
yeah, Sam Hyde is an actual demon. Like
That's it's so fucking weird because it's like Sam Hyde is if like it's like the Filthy Frank and iDubbbz bad ending.
I was just about to say that.
It's like if Filthy Frank and iDubbbz just kept going and going and going. It's like you get Sam fucking Hyde. You get this fucking absolute like, okay, yeah, that happened and we're all in a different place. You're in the same place but fucking more farther along. Like holy fuck.
Yeah.
Like it starts to like become master manipulating and fucking like brainwashing and like you don't know what's real.
Yeah, giving actual money to like far right-wing organizations under your own company funds and shit like that. Like,
even if it's a joke, it's not cool.
yeah,
it's
no,
not
it's not a
funny.
joke. Like, well, you know, the thing about like I was saying about Filthy Frank's, like even he would say slurs, he would say disgusting, horrible things, but it was always in a comedic context. Not that 100% of the time makes it okay, but there was an air of you can tell there's a man behind this, and the man behind this probably has pretty normal beliefs. If anything, progressive beliefs, you know? And with Sam Hyde is that there is no satire. You know, the line between, you know, self and art is almost non-existent. And even if it was a satire, he's not really portraying anything negatively. Like Filthy Frank would say, you know, iDubbbz had some pretty shit takes with why he would say certain things, but Filthy Frank for the most part would do it purely out of comedy or to mock people that are like that, you know, or to be like clickbaity, like this is so bad, you know, which again says something about your values. If that's the thing that's so offensive,
and a lot
that you
of the
gotta
stuff
say
that
it.
he made fun of, like he would like a lot of the shit that he did was fucking against the Asian community, and he was in the Asian community.
Oh yeah, no, of course.
So
well,
there's
that's
that.
a whole other thing.
Well,
That's fine. Like if you are a part of that.
The thing about fucking Joji is that it's funny because starting out his music career, I remember like listening to demos, and I really liked them, and now I listen back to them, and I'm like, not so good. But you see the progression of an artist,
right?
But when he started out, it was like far more serious. Like I'm switching to music. Listen to me. And now that we're here and he's like got 1 billion streams on Glimpse of Us, it's like you go to a Joji concert and people are confused.
Yeah.
And people like me are like, he's there. He's still there.
Yeah. Or he's learning to be a person.
Now that he's established, he's like, okay, I can fucking,
he knows the line.
I can play a little bit.
Self-discovery in the internet age is the same arc as the Hulk in MCU. At first, you're just a fucking monster. and you're destroying everything. And then you become the coy, shy, can't get it up, like, oh God, embarrassed and guilty. And then hopefully by the end of it, alignment, integration as an adult being is Hulk in Endgame, where you are the Hulk, but you have the glasses on and you're behaving like a person.
Taco.
Yeah, see? So, and I think Joji's reaching that point, and I am proud to have witnessed all that. That being said, not a great look in hindsight. But then again, hindsight's 2020, and we didn't know. We were fucking stupid as shit. Most of us were white, you know?
Yep.
That were enjoying this shit. You know, and
yeah, that's a fucking very important part of it.
yeah, because like, you know, he's making, you know, whatever, he's talking about his own culture and Asian jokes and stuff like that. And we're laughing at it and being like, you know,
oh, you know, it's fine. He's Asian.
yeah, but it's like, well, you're not. Like, it's, I don't know.
Yeah.
And so yeah, but I mean, we're talking middle school. Like, we're talking fucking middle
Yeah, I
school.
was 13, 12.
And that's the thing about the internet too. It's like it exacerbates what's already a difficult process of learning to be who you are, learning to be dissident, you know, learning to be something, you know, learning to express yourself even in the face of opposition, learning how to do that without just simply being contrarian for the sake of being contrarian or being too look at me, you know, that's a tightrope walk without the fucking internet. But then you throw that in there where, you know, you can have all eyes on you at all times and your eyes on all things at all times. And it just gets worse. Everything about us becomes more extreme. And, you know, Filthy Frank.
You know, my Filthy Frank is a big part of it, but there's a part of me. But it's like, what? That's a part of you too. But
It was the way you said it. It was so funny.
Okay, okay, but I don't know how I don't know what this segue is or what I'm saying. I'm literally just gonna say names that I think of. I think like Jenna Marbles, Shane Dawson, like Smosh, the fucking special where PewDiePie passed Smosh for most subscribers, and they were all like in a bed with party hats.
Yeah.
And it was like 5 mil.
Oh my God.
And Mr. Beast, and somehow PewDiePie stayed
food
on top
battles.
for this long.
Do you remember Food Battles, Smosh?
Well, think about how we felt with Smosh. That's how this age feels like. Like this age of kids that are the age we were when we watched Smosh.
Right. 13, 14, 12.
That's how they are with Mr. Beast.
Yeah.
And I fucking like. I like Jimmy.
That. I was just about to
really
say.
like Mr. Beast. He's a fucking brilliant dude.
Yeah, I think they're in
And
decent
he's
hands.
fucking cool. He invests all his money back in. He's fucking simple as fuck. Like, he had all this shit, and he fucking, you know, he's like, I got my mattress, I got my camera, I got my video, I got my brain. He's like, I just invested back in. That's all. He was a fucking hyper-focused work machine.
Right.
And now he's kind of fucking giving back. Like, he's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I think they're in good hands.
Mr. Beast. Lordy.
The only YouTube I ingest anymore is I watch Drew Gooden. I think he's very funny. He reminds me a lot of. He's like, if I were to make YouTube, I feel like I would make it just like he does, because he's like really my sense of humor. He's my chuggy kind of humor, but he's also like, he's simultaneously intelligent and also just a dash of cringe, which I love, you know. And I love him. He's very, very dear to me. I watch him almost every night. Good Mythical Morning. I still watch.
Yep.
They're fantastic.
Yeah, everybody has
And Deer Biscuits. So
I get
just
stints.
them in general.
I get stints.
Yeah, they're fantastic. And then, so yeah, Drew Gooden, the whole GMM crew, and Ear Biscuits. I watch Hassan Piker to stay for politics, like for news generally, and political discussions and shit like that. And then I watch Super Smash Brothers videos, and that's it. Like, my subscriber newsfeed is very minimal. That's all I watch anymore.
I think the biggest part of my childhood was Minecraft.
Ooh, yeah. Minecraft was massive to me too, but I think my equal part
like as important as that was to you, I think Smash Bros was to me.
I think Minecraft formed me a lot. Like everything that I watched, like if I had a spare minute, I was on my fucking tablet watching Ant Venom, you know. And nowadays I watch. Well, I do have a backstory. When I was a senior in high school, we were in the middle of a play. And I got really sick, and I had to take a full week off of school. I had something like pneumonia or something like that. Fuck, I had COVID.
What was the play?
1.0. I think it was Newsies.
Oh, nice.
And I got sick, and when I was sick in high school, that's when I watched YouTube. You know, I just watched. You know, but when I got into high school, all I watched was Game Grumps. At the time, I was so into
Game Grumps are phenomenal.
I fucking love Game Grumps, and whenever I play whenever I play Game Grumps, I think of you, Jonah, if you're watching. But I'm sitting there in my bed, and I see something come up in my YouTube recommendations, and it is the revival of one of my beloved childhood YouTube series, which was Ultra Modded Survival from Captain Sparkles. And I see Ultra Modded Survival 2.0. And I'm sitting in my bed, and I'm 17 years old. And I'm like, kind of cringe. And I'm like, kind of cool. And I clicked on it. I watched the whole thing in a week. And I go back to school, and I felt dirty. I felt fucking dirty. I had a dirty little secret. I was walking around. I'm like, I'm a 17-year-old, and I still watch fucking Minecraft videos like I did when I was a fucking baby. Everyone's gonna think I'm a fucking baby. Oh my god. You know what? Fuck it. I'm not gonna tell anybody. I'm gonna keep this to myself and keep this fucking dirty kink to myself and just get to enjoy it and reaping the benefits. 3.5 weeks pass. Creeper Aw Man hits. And suddenly, Minecraft resurges as something that fucking people my age fucking watch again. And it's like, you know, we were so obsessed with Minecraft that we had to, when we grew up, like in order to like push away our childs, you know, when you're like, I'm an adult, like I can do whatever I want, like I'm not a baby anymore. Like that included pushing away Minecraft. And for a lot of people, and when I came back, I was like, oh fuck, yes. 3 weeks later, Creeper All Man hits. Everybody fucking humps in on Minecraft. And I'm sitting there like, oh my god, I get to come out of the closet.
Yeah.
Oh my god. And I remember I went up to somebody and I said that, and I still got called fucking lame, and I was like, god damn it.
That's so funny.
No,
though.
but I was so fucking happy. And to this day, when I was in my first year of college, every single night I watched Markiplier for like hours. The only 3 YouTubers I fucking watch, I'll fucking narrow it down to 2. The only 2 YouTubers I watch are fucking Markiplier and Captain Sparkles.
Oh man, like to this day.
Every fucking night I watch. And my favorite game, I think, of all time is Terraria, whatever you want to call it. And Captain Sparkles, 2 months ago, on his live stream channel, started his first ever Terraria Let's Play. After years and years and years of Minecraft.
That's fucking cool.
And every single night, I take a shower and I watch it and I fucking go to bed. And I'm so happy. I'm so happy about it.
That's, wow. That was a really endearing, charming anecdote. I really enjoyed that. Because I never thought about how much Minecraft actually has, resurged into the memedom, you know, again. Because it did make a really big come around.
And it was all around Captain Sparkles with Creeper Aw Man. That was his thing.
Yeah.
You know? And so
it's like SpongeBob did the same thing a little bit. Like we all watched SpongeBob as a kid, then we grew up and it was already solidified in pop culture, but then it was out of our minds as teenagers until memes came around, and now memes are like, everyone was like...
Well, now SpongeBob memes are almost cringe. Again.
A little bit, yeah, they're getting there, but then, of course, as soon as they go into cringe, then they go into irony again, and it's just like... But I adore SpongeBob, the show. I fucking love
I don't like the new
SpongeBob.
SpongeBob.
Seasons 1 through 4 are fucking brilliant. Like I've watched seasons 1 through 3 had the original writer, you know, and so those are like considered the classic. This is SpongeBob, and the rest is just, you know, extra. And there's good episodes in the new ones, but 1 through 4 for me, I can memorize. I can talk along the dialogue of every episode in seasons 1 through 3.
Yeah,
I fucking love that shit. I get into weird SpongeBob theory rabbit holes.
The fucking stone sponge theory.
Yeah. Spongehenge and
Spongehenge.
then Skin Theory.
Skin Theory. Did I send you Skin Theory? I sent somebody Skin Theory.
Can't remember.
It might have been Jonah who I sent Skin Theory to.
Skin Theory is so good. So good. Yeah, no, SpongeBob's brilliant.
Fucking A. Oh, Adventure Time for me is I've seen. Oh, that's a big one. That's my biggest thing.
I just started
remember-
dating somebody who's as of January 2nd we've been dating, and their favorite show is Adventure Time.
It's my favorite show.
I was so excited by that because it's your favorite show. You know, I was like, oh my God, I found someone who's also like Zach. They obsessed over Adventure Time, so I couldn't wait to watch it, and I've just begun watching Adventure Time.
It's my favorite sticker. It's for everyone not watching the YouTube. It's a fucking sticker that I have of Marceline like playing her bass sax, but she's floating. She's kind of got Skrillex hair. It's kind of a fan drawn thing, but it's also not. If you've seen Distant Lands,
I watched Distant Lands. That's what I was going to say. I watched Distant Lands first before seeing anything in Adventure Time, which probably was not advisable, but I almost wept, even not fully understanding these characters besides what you would normally know.
you need to watch Adventure Time in full twice.
I am.
Twice. You will shit your bricks.
Okay,
you shit
fuck
your
yeah.
bricks, your pants, your fucking ass.
It was fucking I blew cum out of my mouth.
Yeah,
Watching Distant
that's a
Lands.
fucking scrum. That's a fucking legit scrum.
Dude, literally, there was doo-doo fart ass like shitting out of my ears when I watched that.
Our listeners just have no idea who we are unless they actually know us.
Yeah.
Or they know like ever. They can
I think they're getting to know us,
They can
kinda.
pinpoint us.
I think we gave a stranger, I think we said this to each other off camera, like if you gave the podcast to a stranger, everything we have episode 1 through 10 now, and they listened to that and then met us, I think they would know a decent fucking amount about
this
us.
is perfect for the
we've
internet.
been pretty fucking
this is
genuine.
Perfect for the internet thing. So a lot of fucking podcasts are like you watch. I mean, with Rhett and Link, like it is Rhett and fucking Link, and you feel this closeness with them. But it also is fucking huge.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that. It's just a huge community. But with a lot of fucking podcasts, it's like shit that you see on Snapchat, and it's like it's just shit that you watch. I think what's good about us. And what I really like this podcast and think it's special is that it's like we're talking just as if we're in a group, and it's like there's not many fucking people, and it's if someone who we don't know is fucking listening to this, then it's like they're getting to know us, like we're getting to know you, like we're being like it's like we're creating a fucking friendship connection on an intimate level. It's like we're being intimate with the fucking audience.
Yeah, just
you know?
like when I listen back, I'm like, well, we haven't embellished anything or lied, so there's obviously that.
Like
It's
making a new
these are
friend.
authentic. But another thing is like we're sharing more than I thought I was capable to share to the internet, and like I don't know, like obviously no, like you can't like know us just by watching the podcast. Like of course that's not how you know a person, but like you can a little.
It's a bit
more
more
than I
like-
thought you could, because like I don't know, just when I listen back, I'm like, yeah, we're being really fucking, because of how fucking grassroots it is and just how low, you know, like reach we have at the moment. I feel so.
It feels
I feel
anyone
normal.
who gets into it, I would imagine it could be a special feeling because it feels more like making a fucking friendship sort of connection than finding a new content that you really enjoy.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like it feels more special and secluded and closed, like a group of friends does. you
Yeah,
know?
and our listeners who know us personally or at least have us on social that I've received feedback from always talk about how it's like they don't like it feels like a social activity listening to it alone. Like when they're folding clothes, it feels like they're folding clothes just with people in the room.
Exactly. And
know,
instead of like I'm folding clothes while listening to a podcast.
something, or like I'm folding clothes while consuming media. It's like it just makes you feel less alone. And it might be the topics too, like. But the thing is, like, if and when I fucking hope we have a big reach, it's nice that we've gotten this deep, feeling this natural. You know what I mean? And I don't imagine that to ever change.
Grammy, Oscar, Tony, Emmy, podcast, streamy thing.
Streamy. It is called a streamy, isn't it?
That's YouTube. I think there's another thing for podcast of the year.
Ooh.
Some guy who covers a lot of porn star content won it, of course. There's a lot of fucking talk of porn stars in the podcasting community.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
What is with all the fucking porn stars on podcasters, and why are they not on our fucking podcast?
That's a good point.
What the hell?
I would love to sit down and have a conversation with Riley Reid.
I'm gonna not say anything on that.
I would just love to just fucking talk to her. Like,
No, it would be very fucking interesting.
it'd be so interesting. It's
It would
because it's
be
like,
extremely
okay, I would love to
interesting.
talk to a porn star. First of all, that's a fascinating occupation. I want to hear all the horror stories. I want to hear all the funny shit. But
Yeah.
also, it's like to become kind of like how it's so weird to be part of such a taboo or like spicy community, but also be like a household name.
And all the podcasters act like they're fucking talking about that, and they're really just getting clickbait views because porn.
Right, and they're also just fucking horny.
Oh
know,
yeah, it's kind of
It's
sick.
it's a little weird. Like,
So have you seen some of the fucking ways these dudes talk these fucking porn stars? when they're
Yeah.
on the it's always women,
yeah,
they were
there's
talking
no
to.
fucking male porn stars.
and
yeah.
it's like, except for Johnny Sins,
yeah,
and it's like,
which
you
is
know.
another meme legend I would love to sit pick brain about.
I'd love. That's the. You know how whenever you see like a celebrity, it's not the one you would expect. That's gotta be the one that I see.
yeah.
I saw this dude in fucking a place where we live. He's a fucking his name is Ken Tamplin. He's a famous vocal coach. I saw him and I'm like, what is fucking Ken Tamplin doing here? Like,
That's so funny.
you know, that would be it. I'd be like, Maddie, you're not gonna believe what I just saw. I just saw Johnny fucking Sins at the deli.
Well, Reed, I don't know if YouTube scene people will appreciate this, but we've disclosed this, that I work at a place owned by the lead singer of Tool.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it shut down for a day, and Rick Beato did an interview with the lead singer of Tool in the restaurant.
Yeah.
And I was just like, what the motherfucker?
Yeah, it's cool.
Like, and it is cool. And
He had to pass the cursed Taco Bell.
he had to pass the cursed Taco Bell. Yeah.
Wait, he didn't have to, but he probably did.
He probably did. So funny.
No, he did. He did. Because the only way you wouldn't is if you were coming from my house. And if
You were
you
coming from
and if
the
you
north.
were coming from like, oh, you're right, he probably didn't, because wouldn't he be coming from the north? Or would he be
He'd
coming
probably
from
be coming from LA or something.
Yeah, so wouldn't that be south?
Yeah, he probably came
Coming
in through
from
the
south,
17
and then he
like-
comes through the roundabout. So that goes to Taco Bell.
Yeah, he passed the cursed Taco Bell. Rick Beato has been right near the vending machine.
Across the street from the vending
Yeah,
machine.
he's been near
We
the
should
cursed
write an
Taco Bell.
SPP report tonight and put that on the Instagram.
We should. Oh, that'd be funny as fuck. Are we at time?
We're at hour 3 and definitely some change.
Well, fantastic. I love you all.
Yeah, fucking what a spectacular episode this has been. There's a lot more that we could talk about, but then again, that is the internet in a nutshell. Feels like we've been talking for ages about everything there is to talk about, and like we've also only just scratched the surface. So we will catch you next week on the room that we created. We had to get it at the end because we didn't get it at the start. My bad. I donked up pretty big there.
We love you guys.
but we love you.
See, this is the positive application of the internet. Isn't it?
So far.
What was the word? Desensitization.
Desensitization. The word of the day is desensitization. Desensitization.
Much love. We'll see you next week.
Welcome to the internet. Have a look around. Anything that brain of yours can think of can be found. We've got.
They try to shut my balls off like we don't